Bell rolls is the reporter thrown into the secretive world of the Forex Super Model, where nothing is as it seems. Beware the techno monk, and steer clear of Professor Code and his two assistants. Give the senior trader a wide berth, and don't expect any sense from the risk manager.
Good morning, I'm Professor Code and this is the Forex Super Model daily review for Thursday the 21st of October 2021. The time is just coming up to 0440, 20 to 5 in the morning GMT. Asian session coming to close, European session firing up, our lunchtime, North American session. Right, Wednesday the 20th, yesterday we had a positive opposed driver in the pound at plus 57, front and back door flows mainly coming out the dollar at minus 56, out the yen at minus 34, and the euro is the positive rocket plus 33, activity plus or minus 90. Over the week then, intra-week becoming more relevant, this is from Monday the 18th, open to about 15 minutes ago. We've got a negative opposed driver in the yen, minus 182, front and back door flows mainly going into the euro at plus 164, into the pound at plus 157, and the dollar was the negative rocket minus 139, activity plus or minus 321. So over the week then we've had yen weakness still driving, although the gap is closing, and you can see that the euro has soaked up the majority of the positive flows, as has the pound, not too far behind. So and then yesterday we had the pound was positively driving, and you can see that we've had this switch here. So the yen came up slightly in relative terms on the week, and the euro came up as well, and the pound came down likewise, and the dollar came down yesterday. So we've had a little bit of switching around. Now intraday then, this is from today's open to about 15 minutes ago, the Asian session. We've got a positive opposed driver in the euro at plus 41, front and back door flows mainly coming out the yen at minus 28, out the dollar at minus 16, and the pound is the positive rocket plus 3, activity plus or minus 44. Right, so the Asian session is showing this continuation of the euro starting to drive and come up. So we'll stop it there and write up the flows. Right, we've written up the flows then. So the euro is strong except against the CAD, the AUD and the NZD, so the commodity currencies. The yen is weak across the board. The pound is weak except against the dollar, the yen and the Swiss. The Swiss is weak except against the yen and the dollar. The CAD is strong except against the AUD. The AUD is strong across the board. The NZD is strong except against the AUD and the CAD. And the dollar is weak except against the yen. So what have we got then? We've got yen weakness across the board, and we've got AUD strength across the board. And then you've got strength in the commodity currencies, weakness in the yen, the dollar, and the Swiss. Very risk-on sort of scenario that is, right? So what's going to knock it about, or has knocked it about? So we've got ECB council meeting today, and we've got Reserve Bank of Australia Governor Lowe's speech. So relatively low, and that's at both ends of the day really. So and there's a bit of tier 2 data in between, but basically we've got a light data day today, so something to bear in mind. Friday tomorrow then, the 22nd, we've got German manufacturing PMI, Euro PMI, GBP PMI and CAD retail sales. So we've got inflation data coming out and retail sales tomorrow, so we've got a hefty tier 1 events Friday to end the week. And then if you look over into next week, you've got Monday and Tuesday, which are light, and it doesn't really fire up again until the Wednesday the 27th. You've got US durable sales and CAD rates decisions. So and the CAD's been driving, oil's coming up as well, so we'll talk about that in a minute, but the CAD's sort of driving strong into this rates decision. What else has been happening? China's had a media crackdown, so it's all going well in China, and Bitcoin is being pumped up. So that's the main events really, as far as we're concerned. So we'll stop it there and write up the asset classes. Right, we've written up the asset classes then. So US dollar index basically has come off now 0.4 from the high. It's about 40% down from the modelled high. So dollar's definitely softened significantly, and gold in theory should like that, but it's still not up to half marks. It's 0.45 from the floor. So gold gold is not really doing the business. Oil has done this big break. It's now 0.45, 45% above the resistance break. And then you've got Wall Street, S&P Tech. They've all basically nearly recovered. Wall Street is at the high, previous highs at or near. S&P is 0.05, so it's 5% below the modelled high, and the tech's lagging a bit at 0.28 below the modelled high. So that's the batting order: Wall Street, S&P, Tech, and you'd have to wonder why the tech's lagging, and there's reasons for that we can go into another time. But anyway, we've got US 10-year and the bund. We had this break downwards in this is the price, remember, so yields have come up, and we've had a 17% or 0.17 break on the support, so yields are strengthened up in the US on the 10-year, and the bund is at or near the break as well. So arguably we've got rising yields in the longer term debt, or medium to long term debt. And then we've got copper. Copper had this break. It's broken 0.42 from above the resistance, so it's had a good break, and it's just come off 0.13 from the high. So it's 13% off the total high with a model break, but it's broken basically 42% from the resistance. So copper's strong. US steel is bumping on the floor, but it's come up. It's come up nearly a quarter now. It's 0.24 from the floor. So that's where we are. So let's just get rid of this and do the final analysis on what we think is going to happen. As I say, if you look at the economic calendar and the way things are sort of panning out, then it sort of boxes us in a little bit. So as we expected, equities have nearly recovered in this environment. It's where do they go from here? Let's just grab this, and if so, let's just grab that. Right, so we've got the dollar, euro, yen, pound in the majors. We've got the CAD, AUD, NZD in the commodity currencies, and the Swiss. Right. They're the 8 complexes that we tend to deal with in depth. So the dollar, what do we know? Well, the dollar's come off about 40%, so 0.4. The euro's starting to think about coming up. The yen has been very soft. It's been the negative unopposed driver last week, and it's been the opposed negative driver, but it's starting to show signs of slowing down. So we've got this potential floor in the yen. And the pound has been pumped, and likewise we're starting to see signs of a reversal there. The CAD, you've got this rates decision next week. When is it? It's I think it's Wednesday. So just make sure. Yeah, Wednesday the 27th. So you've got the rates decision. Wednesday 27th. And the AUD and the NZ, and the AUD starting to outstrip the NZD in terms of commodity currencies, and the Swiss has been all over the place, but it's shown strength when it should have shown weakness, and it's shown weakness when it should have shown strength. So a little bit of question mark on the Swiss. Right. So if you look at the flows, then you can see that the Asian flows, we've now got a euro drive positively driving. And we've got yen, a little bit of yen weakness, and dollar weakness as well, but which is par for the course. But if you look at the weekly and daily flows, you can see that the edge is starting to come off yen weakness, and the yen is where is it for the week? The yen is -182, and the euro is +164. So we're starting to get close now on the tipping point of whether the euro is driving on the up or the yen is driving on the down. Now that's interesting, and when you think about the way we're boxed in for the economic calendar, so going forward, then we've got very little data after today and tomorrow. Tomorrow is all this PMIs and CAD retail sales. So you've got this situation where the equity markets are starting to nearly hit their previous highs. The chances is we're going to see a break in equities, at least in the short term. But it's going to struggle because of this yen weakness is starting to get tired. So what we're going to see, and the dollar weakness is becoming significant, but you've got this disconnect between the US 10-year and the EUR bund. So you've got yields rising, dollar falling, equities at near highs. But we think in the short term, and you've got the Nasdaq lagging. In the short term, we think that the momentum in the market is likely. We're not quite there yet on full yen weakness, but we're getting there. So once the yen starts to sort of plateau on the floor, then we're likely to see this bottoming out of equities in terms of their rise. So to cut a long story short, then we think there's a little bit further to go in this yen weakness story. Equities are going to poke their head above the previous highs, as they did do on Wall Street, and then came back a little bit. So you're going to get this risk on, and the Asian session is showing very risk on. Commodity currents up, yen, dollar, Swiss down. So we're likely to see a continuation of risk on flows, but the brakes are starting to be applied. So that's where we are. Hope that's helpful. See you again tomorrow for the daily briefing. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.